Welcome back to the Money Script Podcast. It's your host, Yohance Harrison. So happy to be with each and every one of you once again. I am so excited. I have news, y'all. I have so much news. So first of all, we went on a nice, lovely vacation with the whole team. We did our annual retreat. We were in North Carolina, Lake Wiley. It was absolutely gorgeous. It rained for 3 days straight. I mean, rain is gorgeous. It didn't help for our lake activities. What are you going to do? While I was there, though, when I got off the plane, actually, as soon as I got off the plane, touchdown in Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte Douglas. And you turn your phone back on and alerts pop up. And the alert that popped up was we have 10,000 downloads of the Money Script Podcast. So shout out to all of you. Thank you. And yes, it only counts when you download it once. For those of you, I know there's many of you tell me, oh, I listen to this every morning. I'm confident you do. I'm not at the level where I get those readings yet. So keep telling a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And then I will be able to see how many times you've listened to Alicia's money mantras, how many times you've listened to Bilal talk about Wagyu steaks, or how many times you listen to this episode. So I'll get that data soon. So next stop is, I guess, 50,000. Is that? I think that's appropriate. 10,000, 50,000, good exponential numbers. So let's get there by the end of the year. Why not? So tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm very excited for our guest today. I have in the house with us Kenasha. Make sure I said that right. Okay. Kenasha Paul. She is the CEO and founder of the Black Professionals Network. We've been trying to get together for at least all year. We've been trying to make it happen all year. I had to reschedule. She had to reschedule. It's like that sometimes. But guess what? We're on today. So thank you for joining me. Kenasha, how are you?
I'm well. I'm so happy that it worked out, that we were able to finally, have this conversation.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, before we get into the wonderful things happening at Black Professionals Network, today was one of those epic news days when you get your phone and you just get an alert after alert after alert. Actually, it's kind of been like that all week. Mm-hmm. We had some decisions. The Supreme Court promised it would give us decisions on several of their cases before June 30th. And it's June 30th. And guess what? They are actually on time. Some of them were finance related. Other them were more how do we want to describe it? Rewinding the clock. Is that the best way? Going back in time. There was a time machine sort of essence to them. Yeah. So I want to talk about say it again.
Yeah, on a lot of social issues. Yeah.
Some social issues. Yeah. But that's when we got in time machine. We're like, we're gonna go backwards a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk a little bit about that later, because I know that's going to really dive into Kenasha's work with the Black Professionals Network. But I want to talk about the money related one first. Okay. So I know a lot of you were waiting to hear if Biden's attempt to eliminate some student loan debt, $10,000 for some individuals, up to $20,000 for others who receive Pell Grants. And if you recall, when the bill was passed recently for the debt ceiling, they put into that law that the president would no longer have the power to suspend student loan payments. So we talked about that briefly on a previous show. And the White House at that time, they announced that they were prepared for the Supreme Court to also not rule in their favor. And true to form, the Supreme Court did not rule in their favor. So I don't know if the White House, with the checks and balances, I got to go read up on my judicial stuff, but I don't know if they can appeal or try something else. Or I think that's it. Supreme Court, supreme law of the land. I don't remember. History buffs, clean me up on Twitter. Thank you. I'll do better. Get my do my civic duties and understand that. But basically what I'm saying, it's not happening, and I'm sorry. Yeah. I was looking forward to it too. My son was looking forward to it. My wife was looking forward to it. We were, we wanted that forgiveness as well, but it's not going to happen. Yeah. So prepare to pay your student loans at the end of August. It's been fun, y'all. It's been real, not real fun, but it's been fun. So let me know what your comments are, your thoughts are on that. I know that a lot of you are going to have to come up with some alternatives. Unfortunately, interest rates have gone up at the same time. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult to refinance student loans. However, when you refinance, time is a factor as well. So if you can have a longer repayment period, it still could help the payment be a little bit lower within your budget.
Mhm.
The education department has reported that they are still working on some other changes to the repayment plans for the IBR, the IDR, the repay as you earn. As I mentioned, I was on vacation, so I haven't read up on the latest on that, especially being focused on these decisions that were made this week. So again, let me know what your questions are. If you're looking for resources, we have lots of them. Let's the party's over, out of time. So with that, let's get to you. I'm curious. I told you we're gonna have a real conversation about this because I feel like I know what the Black Professionals Network is. And I feel like I've seen it. I feel like I've been to a function or something, but it would seem like it was so long ago, kind of the whole pre-pandemic. So please just tell us a little bit more about what the organization is. And I'm going to try to connect the dots.
Awesome. So the organization, I'm pretty sure people are familiar with the Black Professionals Network. We in different capacities. I know that there's people have used the name to do similar kind of work, where there's like provide an opportunity for Black professionals to gather. But under the umbrella that I've created under our Black Professionals Network, that's trademarked, is that our organization is focused on. I was like, our organization.
The money script. You see my TM? It's up there. Yeah, they're both trademarked. Got them both. Okay, yeah. That M and the money script. Got them both. Okay, got letters in the mail. Let's go.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
If you want to. I mean, you've seen the sign. You find out. Go ahead. 1 through 10. Go ahead.
So the organization, our primary focus is creating, I would say the fancy way we say is called creating an ecosystem of legacy builders. And so what does that look like for us is that we want our professionals to see that their career, their business, their industry are just tools to seed fund the legacy that they really are passionate about. And so we know the saying, your network is your net worth. And so we look at it is that we need to do both. Like when I started the organization, I knew the power of social capital. I knew the power of networking, but also understood that we also had information that we needed to know so that we can leverage those relationships to build our net worth. And so what I would say in short, what BPN does for our community is that you get to grow your network, but then you also get the education to build your net worth. And then for us is we're on that pathway to really help our professionals on that journey to hit certain milestones. And actually some of the work that we're going to be launching soon in a couple, I would say before the end of the year, is about some of our new initiatives to really double down that messaging so that people can see what the North Star that we're trying to get our community towards and how that's going to help us unlock some doors and for us to kind of like not be distracted by a lot of what's happening right now. And for us to kind of go back to like, building our communities, like, and focusing on like the cooperative economics that I think that we can all strive for.
So that leads us to the other Supreme Court decision. Mm-hmm. I'm still connecting the dots though. So wait, actually, hold on. No. You're in South Florida, Miami, correct?
So we're headquartered in Miami, but we have chapters in Chicago and Los Angeles now, and with more chapters on the way.
Those chapters were more recent.
Yes.
So I left Los Angeles in 2018.
Yeah, we didn't bring in LA chapter until 2022. So LA is they just celebrated their 1 year in April.
So if it was the Black Professionals Network, the one that you founded, that I am aware of, then it would be through some of my connections in Miami.
Yeah, so I think with Bilal, he's been a speaker.
Okay, it is. All right.
So yeah,
I just happened to say his name at the top of the show. You see how that works?
Yeah, so it's like, I figured it was like through Bilal. He's been a speaker. He's been our keynote speaker for a couple years.
That's what it is. I might have. I'm gonna go ahead and put Bilal out there because that's my dog. I mean, we help each other out. I might have ghostwritten one of those presentations. I'm just gonna say it. I
Hey,
I
hey, you
did.
gotta make. I
I
love.
did.
We all believe in team. That's our guiding principle in the organization. Together each achieves more.
There we go. There we go. All right. I'm glad I made the connection. So let's talk about the Supreme Court. Um, so the affirmative action ruling that came out, basically, it was a 5-4 ruling, if I remember correctly. I don't have the details up here,
Okay.
but 5-4 ruling that that affirmative action that's being practiced at, what was it, UNC I said Charlotte, UNC Chapel Hill. I said
Hmm.
Tar Heel, close enough. Um, and was it Yale? Was Yale the other one? Princeton.
Harvard.
Oh, Harvard. One of those. I was
Mhm.
close. I was that their affirmative action practices are unconstitutional.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it.
Yeah, so I think I haven't dived deep yet into reading kind of like the dissent because I know like right now, and what we're all digesting is a little bit of a headline. So we really want to. I know for us, the organization, we really want to put a very helpful response to help people not only understand what that information means for their lives, whether it's from either perspective, life or legacy, as we'd like to focus on, and then also to figure out, also to provide some context of if there's something you really are passionate about, or what are some call of actions that you can do to be able to make a difference in this. Because that's basically kind of like the culture that we try to create within the organization. That we want to be able to have the means, the resources, the connections to make a difference in the things that we deeply care about.
Indeed, agree. Could not agree with you more. So I want to talk about legacy, and as you stated in your mission, of you said creating a network of legacy builders.
Mhm.
Um, so tell me, how do you define a legacy builder?
So for us, a legacy builder is someone who aspires to create generational wealth or impact. And that is defined on, what they care about. And so for us, what we actually, part of one of the initiatives we're working on is, really to define what does legacy building mean to each of our individual members. So we know that legacy building, there's most people look at it from a generational impact, and we know that's part of it. But there's so many ways that you can create a legacy, and that's why we add impact as part of that definition as well. Some people want to create legacy in that they want to carry their last name, and their family's last name, to mean something when you think about like the Rothschilds or the Kennedys. Like they want to have their names to be synonymous in that same context, right? And then you have others who want to have their legacy be reflected in the institutions that they leave behind, whether they want to be like the next McDonald's, the next Amazon, the next Tesla. Like they want to, like, at the end of the day, the Kroger, he doesn't live no longer as the founder of that company, but McDonald's still lives on. And you think about, or the Whartons with the Walmart, so the company still lives on, no matter that the founder is long gone. And so there's also people who want the things that they create to be part of that legacy. Like they want to leave great works of art, great music, great books, whatever creations that they want to leave behind. And that is a way that they can create some impact and leave their mark on the world. So for us, is when we say that we're creating a network of legacy builders, we're helping. I think for us, we're part of that is the social engineering that to help our profession remember that we now live in a time where we live a lot longer than our previous ancestors. So we can dream more, and then we can also execute on that dream. And so there's a level of mindset shifting that we need to create for us to remember that.
I love how you shared the generational wealth impact and the idea that many of us have different ways in which we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And not just from, because there's the business owner legacy, as you spoke of. So
Yeah.
the names on buildings. I like to think about some of our leaders that are still alive today. So like the Williams, as in Pharrell Williams, the Carters, as in the Sean Carters, or
Yeah.
Lil Wayne Carter, um, the Knowles, because her last
Those
name's
hard
not
as
really
playing.
Carter.
Exactly.
The Tyler Perrys.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we are building a substantial list. And one of the things that when it comes to legacy that we are really focused on in the month of July, well, always, but in the month of July, we're just going really, really hard on this for the summer, is we have a lot of business owners and individuals that don't know how to properly document their legacy. You
Exactly.
mentioned that we are living longer. Yes, we are. But no matter the length of time that we spend, are we making sure that our affairs are in order so that if something happens timely or untimely, that the things that we work so hard to build and secure and legacy is protected? Because if you
Exactly.
don't have the documents in order, it's not. I've one of the most fascinating things is when, for me as a financial planner, is whenever I see a great name of an entertainer, an artist, whomever, and I see that their time has come and they have passed away. My first question is, did they at least get an estate plan done?
Yeah.
And it's like 6-1. No, they didn't.
Exactly. Because I think we have to, and I love that generational wealth has become like you see it all over social media, and you see that people are really saying that they're striving towards it. And I think the reason why I wanted us to incorporate that in our mission and vision was because not because that it was trendy, but also realized that there was a learning opportunity, because you realize that people are confusing or conflating lifestyle, reaching a certain lifestyle income, and legacy building. And that's not the same. So you can, in your life, reach, say, $500,000, whether it's salary or profits in a business. So yes, see, whether, because I know a lot of tech people, especially in tech sales, who make 500,000 in a career role, and then there's people who make more than 500,000 in profit. So after gross expenses, they're bringing in 500,000. So yeah, you're in your bank account is that 500,000. But if you don't have a vision for how you want your life and legacy to operate, like what does that 500,000 really mean if you're always it's always being spent, that there's no paperwork that's protecting it, there's no succession planning, there's no estate planning. God forbid you are incapacitated and you can't work and you can't bring that 500,000 income coming in, whether through salary or your business. What are the things that you have in place so that money can still be brought in? So that way you're not feeling like you always constantly have to be at labor. So I think that we really need to think when we talk about, for us, we're doubling down on that message legacy building. We want people to understand, like, we have more say in taking control of this thing called our life, and we also have more say in this thing that in this generational impact and wealth that we're trying to create. And that requires us to be, think big, be uncomfortable, but knowing that it's all doable.
And get help.
Yes, that's why we
You are
have.
not alone. Get some help.
Yeah, that's why we double down that we want you to grow your network and network, because we know that it's tied. Like you don't need to do it by yourself. We have financial advisors in our network. We have lawyers in our network. We have real estate individuals in our network. It's like no matter like what you need, whether it's from the professional side, your lifestyle side, or even your wealth strategy side, like having a network like ours, like the goal was to create as cross industry network as possible, because you never know who you need. And our guiding principle is together each achieves more for a reason.
Each achieves more. I love it. Well, as you know, you as a guest on the Money Script podcast, we like to ask a question to all of our guests.
Mm.
So, Kenasha, she got a little prep work for this. Kenasha, I want to give a shout out to you. She's one of the first ever. Now, all my guests, I love you, but I just want to tell all of you, she's one of the first. She copy and paste the questions from the email into the chat group. Okay, as we're doing into the chat, letting me know that she is prepared. I'm not saying that anyone else was unprepared. She just let me know that she is prepared. So I appreciate you for that. So with no further ado, Kenasha, what is your first memory of money?
So I want to say my first, when you presented the question, I wanted to probably write that it was like my first pivotal memory of money. And that was when in high school, we had won this prize for us. So we did this. I was a TV production major, so I was able to. We had done this PSA, and we had entered it into a contest, and we had won a cash prize, and we were able to split the proceeds. So I remember it was like my first cash prize award. And we got a physical award, but that was like, oh, so my family was like, hey, you have to, deposit it in a bank account. And I was like, wow, I don't have a bank account. So that was like, so that was like our first memories. Like my first, I guess like my first investment into my own bank account was because through my own creativity, working with a group, working on this video production project, working on this PSA. And then I think it was like, I want to say it was like maybe less than $500, whatever it was. But knowing that.
Oh, in my mind, it was like $50,000 the way you shared that story. I was like, damn, okay. But this is the bank. Hey, you know what? $500 is $500.
Hey, when you're 17, you're just
I am 43. I'm not stepping over $500. It's just lying on the ground. No, I'm picking it up.
Counts. And so that was like my first memory of money. And I think the reason why it was so pivotal, because I instantly realized that I did not know how I was going to spend it. I didn't have no concept outside of that I received it. What did that mean? Right? I was like, hey, here's this money. Here is this debit card. You can decide to do whatever. I wasn't given no instructions, and then got to college. And then it just like snowballed of like getting access to financial instruments without direction. And so that's
no. Don't. We're all in suspense. So what did you spend the $500 on? You just skipped to college. Time out. Rewind.
It's like, what did I? And that's what's so crazy. I cannot recall like if I even made a monumental expense with it. I think it was it was just like one of those like, petty cash accounts, like, oh, if I'm at the supermarket, like, okay, I got it. I'll swipe. And that's when I realized it's like, oh, okay, that's why I thought it was like the most pivotal time of money, because I've gotten, of course, birthdays, I've gotten cash. I'll get a $20 here. My godfather was really great. Like he was like the ultimate godfather, was like giving me money, sliding me money across the table type thing. So I've had my hands on money, but I think having to interact with like a financial institution, and like that bank account was Bank of America, and going to the branch and having to speak to the teller. Like I remember that memory so vividly, because it was like I had to do all these steps, and I think I knew instantly, like I was entering a relationship with
like a stranger.
Yeah.
Like it was a blind date, and you wake up and you're like, are you going to reveal your face yet? I mean, are you here?
Yeah. That was something that I was like, I wonder what other people's like first interactions with a financial institution was a good experience. Did it leave them feeling like they knew what was next? And I think that's what was such a very pivotal memory for me.
That was beautiful, beautiful. So I'm curious, how does that memory play into your relationship that you have with money today?
So I think it taught me that I moved a lot like that, especially like in my early years, not knowing the how money was a tool, and I treated money as like petty cash, as like if I needed something, I spent it. And I and if and like and also like I feel like my family kind of moved almost the same way. It's like we didn't try to like overthink money. We knew money could be scarce, but we also my dad, because I had like two philosophies that ran in the house. Like my mom was like, I'll spend it. My dad was like, I'll come back. And it's like, I think I moved it in that same like kind of mode. But realizing, like, I guess as I got older, that no, like money isn't, it's not a feeling. It's not petty cash. It's a tool. Like, it's like, it is just a tool. Like, if I, and I realized the clearer I wanted to be about something that I wanted, the more I could align the tool to work in my favor. And I realized, like, it took a while to get to that awareness. Like, I knew I had a vision for like what I wanted to contribute to, like with the org, like creating BPN. But when doing that work, I ran straight to like, okay, how do we? Because a lot of questions that when you create work like this, you're looking at it from a, how do we really solve the needle for people in our community? Like, what is that theory of change that we can implement that we're going to be able to see some kind of cause and effect? And as I'm doing the work, it came full circle. Like for us, that's how we added the net worth conversation to our vision statement and mission statement. Is like how much money plays into how you design your rich life, and how does it play into designing your legacy, and and how important it is for us to be have a vision around that. Like when they say like a visionless people is a hopeless people. It's just like that is key. Like, and that's what I think helped me really realize, like, oh, okay, I really need a vision about what my money is supposed to do. And hence why I can't remember what I spent it on. Like that's why I was like, it's a
There it
very
is. There it is. No, say it again. Say it again. Slower for the people in the back.
Because I was like, I didn't have a vision for that money. And so that's why it felt very fleeting. But if I had a vision for it, then I could tell you instantly, like, oh, I needed this, and this is what I spent it on. And I'm pretty sure like some of what I spent it on was my also like college applications, because I think,
Sure.
yeah. But I also
Listen, Kenasha, let me tell you, Kenasha, I was in a similar situation. It's not my first memory of money, but the first time I had a substantial amount of money all at once.
Yeah.
My grandmother left a CD for me. She passed away. The bank told me, come back when you're 18. 18 was 2 days. No, excuse me. 18 was 2 days after graduation, I think. Something like that. That's the math's a little fuzzy now. But the bottom line is I was parked outside a state employees credit union at 7:45 waiting for the doors to open.
Because you were like, I need
no vision at all. People ask what I spend the money on. I don't know. I might have bought some books, but I also signed up for my Sallie Mae loans the same year.
Yeah.
I didn't have to take on as much debt as I did. I didn't. I could have paid some of it, but I had no vision.
Exactly.
I got to share one of the dumbest things I did. I've shared this story with many people. So I didn't. Growing up, we didn't have a lot. We made do. We figured it out. I was working at a young age. So I began to make my own money, buy my own clothes, buy my own cars, all those things, and chip out at home as well, or chip in, at home as well. But when I got this lump sum, I decided it was finally time to buy the shoes that I've always wanted, because I had to go to Rack Room shoes. I couldn't go to Foot Locker and Foot Action unless it was my birthday, and still I had to find the one that was on sale. I mean, I still got some fly kicks, don't get me wrong, but I never had the Jordans. I never had the Air Max. I got whatever was on sale. I had a lot of flights. Okay. And so here I am with all this money, and what do? I go buy some Jordans. I go buy some Air Max. The problem was I bought them all in size 12, which at age 18 was the size that I wore, not knowing that I was still growing.
Yeah.
And I spent all that money on shoes and outgrew them basically before college started. I got to college, like, why do these Jordans hurt my feet? Oh, because I'm a size 13 now. Okay. But and I bought a too many pair of shoes. Like it was one of those, and was buying them for the homies too. Like you want you want a pair of shoes? You want a pair of shoes? Yeah, get a pair of shoes. Why not? Yeah. Bringing in all the sizes.
Well, I hope you were able to resell them.
No, the reselling wasn't I told my age, girl, this was 1998. It wasn't, no, eBay.
Yeah.
You want to know eBay? I mean, yes, I did sell them, to someone else on campus that wore size 12. Like, here you go. But it wasn't like these days. I mean, no, I was frustrated. I just sold them to get rid of them. I was like, oh, you can have them for $60. They don't fit my feet anymore. I've worn them. I wore them for 2 months. I take good care of them. But no, I don't even remember how much I got them. Who knows? I might have just got them for some pizza. I don't know. It was college. I was a freshman. I was dumb. I had no vision, had no view of how to manage this money that I had. And then just swiped it away. Also signed up for a credit card because why not?
Yeah.
You get a free t-shirt.
Oh,
okay, cool. So.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Kenasha, thank you go ahead. I'm sorry.
You always say that education is key, but I think to your point of saying like not tying that to a vision, that's so important. Because I knew a lot, like once I got into college and then went around other people who understood money, but I still realized like the missing piece was vision. So I actually love that you said that you focus on like money psychology, because that was kind of like a full circle moment that I realized like a lot of like they're gonna be like a money therapy class. Like I think that would tell people a lot about what some of their pain points are in life, and like even probably like rooted in so much stuff. So thank you so much for all the work that you're doing, and making sure that people are getting the education and then also getting a little bit more clarity about how they can navigate this work. And I would definitely love to see how BPN can support and amplify that as well too. Having financial education is important, but without having that vision, it's just, you need that missing, like that part is missing for a lot of people. So I was saying, thank you so much for like, you doing the work and making sure that other people understand not only how to be awareness about what the financial products and instruments that we can tap into, but how to like really understand that the therapy that needs to be behind that, like that money psychology, crafting that vision so that they can know that they can create the life and legacy that they want. And so like kudos to you for doing that work in any way that BPN can also help and amplify that. Just I'm here as a resource.
Okay, so now I'm going to respond to that. Thank you so much for creating a space where we can be comfortable, network to increase our net worth, and creating that network of legacy builders. I would like to learn more from you offline about the chapter in Dallas. Mm-hmm. It exists already, right?
Mm-hmm. Not yet, but you want to bring it, sure.
Okay. So did I hear you're looking for someone to start a chapter in Dallas? That's what I think she said. I think we've been challenged.
Here, and it's on our list. You want us to have a chapter in Dallas? Let's do it.
I mean, I'm here, so if you, I know I know a few Black people, so they're professionals, and they like the network. So
win-win. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, thank you again for spending some time on the Money Script podcast. Thank you to all the listeners and especially the customers. Thank you for 10,000 plus downloads. I think we're almost at 11 already. That was like a week ago. So now I think we're at that tipping point where it just starts to just grow and grow and grow. So thank you for telling a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to get some financial education. Oh, and really quick, I'm going to just start doing this until it changes. My soon-to-be alma mater, Morehouse University College, Morehouse College. I'm doing it again. See, this is what happens when you go to school as an adult. My soon-to-be alma mater, Morehouse College. You are forcing me as a senior to take a 100 level physical science class. And you're probably forcing a lot of other seniors and juniors to take that same level of class. Just for some reason, it's not matching up with what you have in your curriculum thus far. How about this, Morehouse College? I challenge you. I think that personal financial literacy courses would be a lot more advantageous to your older students, the ones that have jobs and incomes, have children, are often married and divorced, with pensions and 401ks and IRAs and Roth IRAs that lack things like basic estate planning. I think a personal financial education, financial literacy course would be a lot more valuable in their curriculum. So I'm just saying, I know some people, we can talk about it. That's my PSA for today. Thank you for sticking around for that. You're going to hear it every single time until something changes. Kenasha, thank you for representing the Black Professionals Network as its founder and CEO. And I cannot wait to have a meeting in Dallas. Till next time, I'll see you soon.
Thanks for joining us on the Money Script podcast. Be sure to check out our other episodes, subscribe, follow, and give us 5 stars. Continue to send your financial questions on Twitter or Instagram at the Money Script. Go to moneyscriptwealth.com and schedule your complimentary consultation to discuss your specific goals and concerns. Financial advisory and investment management services are offered by Moneyscript Wealth Management PLLC, a registered investment advisory firm registered in the state of Texas and California and other states where exempt. The Moneyscript LLC and the Moneyscript Wealth Management PLLC and guests of the episode may have interest in the investments mentioned today. The opinions and views are expressed here are for informational purposes only. This material is educational in nature and should not be deemed as a solicitation for any specific product or service. All investments involve risk and a significant loss of principal. The Moneyscript nor Moneyscript Wealth Management offer tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney for specific advice about your situation. Until next time.